And these are called the diseases of the heart. These are the spiritual diseases of the heart. Now these diseases are divided into two. There are two types of diseases. The first are called shubuhat. And these are diseases that relate to the understanding. So for instance, if somebody is fearful of their provision from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if they're afraid that they won't get their food for the day or their provision, this is a disease of the heart, because a sound heart has trust. A sound heart actually trusts in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And a sick heart has doubt. So the sound heart trusts in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala absolutely. And this is why the heart is actually, the heart does not worry. The heart, it's the nafs, it's the ego of the human being, it's shaitan, it's the caprice, the hawa, and dunya, the love of this ephemeral world, that all lead to this state of fear, of anxiety. The heart in and of itself is actually an organ designed to be in a state of stillness, but the stillness will only come about by the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنَّ الْقُلُوبِ. Isn't it by the dhikr of Allah that the heart is stilled? That this is what the heart wants. It wants to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when Allah is not remembered, when human beings forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then what happens is the heart goes into a state of agitation. It goes into a state of turmoil, and it gets diseased because it's not being fed. Just like the cells need life-giving oxygen in order for, we need to breathe. If we stop breathing, cells die, and we die. The heart also needs to breathe, and the breath of the heart is the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what feeds the heart. This is what nourishes the heart. The company of good people is the food of the heart. The exercise of the heart, all of these things are necessary for the heart to be sound and healthy. And this is basically what the Quran has come. It's come to remind people that their hearts need to be nourished. And this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that the human being that will be in a good state in the next world is the one who brings a sound heart. Now we enter into the world basically in a state of fitrah, or a state of the original nature, the inherent nature of the human being, and then we learn to be anxious. We learn anxiety from our mothers. We learn anxiety from our fathers. We learn anxiety from our society. All of these things, and this is why the human being is created in a state of anxiety. That the human being is literally created, the Quran says that we're created in a state of hala. And this state of hala, which is anxiety, is the one group of people that are removed from this state are illa al-musallin, the people who are people of prayer. They're people of prayer. And this prayer is not the prayer of 5 times a day, but there are people who are الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ دَائِمُونَ. They're always in a state of prayer. They're always in a state of connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the highest station. This is the station of people who do not, neither buying nor commerce diverts them from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're the ones who remember Allah standing, sitting, and reclining on their sides. These are the people who are not the people of ghafla. They're not the people of heedlessness. So this first type of disease, these are called shubuhat. And then the second type are called shahawat. And the shahawat are the desires. They're the base desires of the self. For instance, food, sex. These are shahawat. These are appetites. And these are also diseases when they're out of proportion to their natural state. And basically what we have in Islam is we have a method or a means by which our hearts can become sound. They can become safe again. The Prophet ﷺ, they said that the dhikr that he did more than any other dhikr was Ya muqallib al-qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dinika. O turner over of the hearts, make my heart firm on your deen. And so this is basically what Muslims have to be reminded of.